What is your name, and how long have you been riding Freedom Riders?
I'm Steve Ackerman, and I think I've been riding Handcycles Freedom Riders specifically since 1991. It was interesting. I went to an abilities expo out in LA and ran into a gentleman there who said he was going to ride a Freedom Rider, actually, from coast to coast in 26 days. I asked him where he got the bike, and I found out, and I ordered one, and several months later I received my Freedom Rider, and just in time to take a few rides before it started snowing. The next spring I trained up to do a ride in Colorado called Ride the Rockies. It's an annual bike ride where about 2,000 riders would travel from town to town for 7 days in the mountains of Colorado. Big climbs and big rest afternoons, and then get up the next morning and do it again. And sounded like a good time to me, and the Freedom Rider worked for me. I'm the very first person that ever did that ride. In 1994, I was invited by an organization out of Charlotte, North Carolina called World Team Sports to take part in a cycling ride for disabled riders that would take 246 days to go through 16 countries, 3 continents. So when I got this letter in June saying, would you be interested in taking a stage of this ride, you know, the light went on. I said, this has got me written all over it. This is what my heart.
The idea is to create a team, a world team featuring disabled cyclists, and to ride around the world.
What was your typical day? Well, do the math. I think we rode about 70 miles a day.
From Atlanta on St. Patrick's Day, the ride will cover 13,000 miles, 16 countries, 247 days.
In 1999, we started out from Atlanta, Georgia, and riding up the coast of the United States and over to Ireland, England, France, Belgium, Netherlands, Germany, Czech Republic, Austria, Poland, Belarus, Russia.
But at the end of the day, when all I want to do is relax and clean up, Steve keeps going.
They're screaming!
I often feel inadequate when I see him draw upon his inner resources, and I feel all dried up inside. He seems to have a reserve tank of energy.
That looks like a babushka. Kazakhstan, more Russia, Mongolia, China, Japan, and then riding across the United States to Washington, D.C., finished just a little bit before Thanksgiving in 1995.
Basically, the last 30 years, you've predominantly ridden a non-electric hand cycle, correct?
No, I started out riding, e-bikes are a recent invention, I think. But I have to say that after riding this new Freedom Rider here, I think that it'd be a good thing to have in my quiver, because it really does allow you to go farther faster, and you can still get the workout. You're just going to go at a little bit better pace. I really enjoyed the having the assist, but you still get a workout. You know, I live here in Colorado, and I can go ride up one of the canyons here west of town and take 5 hours to do it, while my friends who are able-bodied using their legs do it in 2. This would make it so that we could all go ride up and get lunch together. I'm pretty sure I'd get the same workout that I would get. It would just be in a quicker period of time.
What would you say to anyone looking into getting into hand cycling?
Well, one thing is that people that were into cycling and perhaps became injured and enjoyed cycling, this is the way that you can get back on the road and enjoy the sport that you enjoyed before. If you never cycled before, you could find a really enjoyable activity that will keep you in shape.
What would you say to anyone who's nervous about getting into the sport or potentially riding one for the first time?
If there's anything that might make me nervous, is picking when and where to ride. Riding a bike is simple. It's enjoyed by many, many people in this country, and there's no reason, if you lose the use of your legs, that you can't still enjoy the sport. You just use your arms. You know, I was injured 38 years ago in a car accident. I was laying there in a hospital bed after the doctor told me that I'll be using a wheelchair the rest of my life and don't plan on walking or running. I actually had a physical therapist look at me when I was laying there in the bed a couple days after my accident, and she was going to fit me up for a body brace, and she saw that I had a scrawny little upper body and big legs, and she goes, "Oh, so you're a runner, huh?" And I went, "Yeah." And she went, "Well, that's all going to change." The fact of the matter is that when I got into hand cycling, it just made my life really complete. It's an addictive sport. I think the e-bike, the Freedom Ryder, was really just a joy to ride for me today. I could see myself using it more often. Certainly when I go out riding with my able-bodied friends that like to go fast. I've been able to ride not powered Freedom Ryder in a pace line with able-bodied riders and hang on their wheel, but wow, it's a lot of work, and I never got the lead. You know, honestly, today was the first day I really got to ride one of these electric hand cycles, and it's a blast, and really, I look forward to you guys leaving and letting me have it to myself. No. I just really would tell people my experience with the bike, and but I would suggest everybody take a ride on it and see for yourself, because there's nothing like the feeling of getting done with like a 25-mile ride and the exhilaration that you feel. I get every bit of what I used to get when I was a runner on the bike, and it is really it's a fantastic opportunity to do something with your family and friends that they all do, and don't think you can't do it because you've got the equipment.